Hey, what's going on? Today's presentation, your little mini class, is why you haven't had optimal success in medical and fitness systems in the past. So we want to go over this, try to give you a good idea of why issues have existed for you in the past and what you can do about them moving forward. And so let's see. My clients generally come to me looking for an answer to a problem. The common experiences that they've had in the past are, they went to a physical therapist and the results were either short-lived or didn't completely address the problem. They only got them really to a certain point. They do group workout classes and then they had to stop because they had pain or injury. Something came up physically like that. They go to a chiropractor, but it's always like one step forward and one step back. They're always pretty much going and ending up at the same place. Or maybe they get a personal trainer and they work out with them, but the progress only goes so far, or they only know how to cover, a certain areas. Or they vary the workout, but it really isn't. It really isn't different. It seems like it's different. Maybe different exercises, but it's not really progressing so much. And so, we want to take a broader look at the movement science domains. And on the medical side, the side that is paid by insurance is, physical therapist, chiropractor, occupational therapist, massage therapist in certain, areas, like if they're in a physical therapist or chiropractic office. And then athletic trainers, which a lot of people uh, don't engage with quite a lot, but are some of the best out there. And then on the fitness side, there are strength and conditioning coaches, although those are primarily in specific athletic performance training environments. And then we have personal training and group exercise instructors. So the common variable that is lacking in the aforementioned systems is that of a holistic, comprehensive approach. And so an exception to this is in the domain of athletics. In athletics, like if an athlete gets hurt, they're going to go over to their orthopedic doc, and then there's going to be a crossover between that doc and the athletic trainer, and who's essentially the physical therapist for the athletic team. And then there's a crossover between that athletic trainer and what they're doing and the strength and conditioning specialist. So this is holistic. It's continual. And they're addressing the athlete as a whole because they want that athlete to perform, their best and be able to continue performing for the team. And as well, the strength and conditioning specialist is trained in how to develop programs to build injury resilience and correct mechanical imbalance, as opposed to, just really just that performance end of things. So contrastingly, in a non-athletic world, we'll go to a primary care physician, get a referral to an orthopedic specialist of some kind. You can see that by this arrow right here. But as you can see, there's a gap between there to where you'll go to the primary care physician, then you've got to pick an orthopedic specialist. And then the orthopedic specialist will either address the issue on their own by, surgery or whatever they're going to do with it. And then they'll give a prescription to a physical therapist. Again, this leaves the client going out and searching for a physical therapist or chiropractor, maybe, to handle that phase of the program. And then, there's a certain number of sessions covered by insurance. And then after that, the patient is really, they're left to their own devices to go out there on their own and find an answer for themselves after they've reached that specific point that insurance is, going to cover for them. And so from a professional point of view, we have really two problems, and that one problem is, an isolated domain, whereas, the professional only engages in their specific domain, and so they're really unaware of the other systems, and therefore they can't really interact with them as well, in at least in any nuanced point of, kind of way. For instance, I worked in a studio with, it was an awesome chiropractor. He was fantastic. And he's also a certified strength coach. So he knew his stuff conceptually. but he'd never worked in an athletic environment. He'd never worked in a strength and conditioning environment. He didn't know what a he didn't know what a strength and conditioning facility looked like, either in collegiate or professional sports or anything like that. So he had this conceptual knowledge, but he hadn't really been in the environment. And so he had only worked in commercial fitness and chiropractic, which is a better crossover than most, but it really did leave him with blind spots in his system and the way that he would approach things. And so if you were to take, let's say, a physical therapist in a hospital setting who, they look a little out of shape, you want to ask yourself, do they really have the experience to offer a comprehensive solution for you? And so the next problem that the professionals face is, and why we're unable to offer this holistic, comprehensive solution as often as we would like, is that the system that we work in is very, very commonly monopolized. And on the medical side, it's really common since insurance and pharmaceutical industries run the medical system. Movement science is really more of a holistic thing, and so it's really not a very good fit. Therefore, the reactive systems don't offer the comprehensive, holistic solutions that we may see, with those athletic domains. And so my unique experience is that I have been, experience in a breadth across all domains. So I've had the unique opportunity to work in collegiate strength and conditioning, chiropractic, physical therapy, spinal cord injury, recovery, corporate wellness, and commercial fitness. And so that offers me the unique opportunity to address this topic for you and kind of has a point of view to where I can tell you what's happening and why it's happening, because there's blind spots that other professionals have just because they haven't been involved in any of those other spaces. And so in comparison, with what should be done and what is commonly done, we're going to say, we're going to look at the situation of a personal trainer. They want you to work out with them. So you're working out with this personal trainer. They want you to come in and hang out with them for an hour and work out. And what you really need to do is learn how to move so that you may live a more active life. So you need to really be more active outside of the gym and learn how to move better, rather than necessarily just going and hanging out with a coach who's going to train your body, but isn't going to really train you in the competency of how to develop on your own. So a physical therapist is going to work on your injury. So when you get an injury, that physical therapist is only paid by insurance for certain things. And so they're only empowered to do certain things. Unfortunately, the cash-based physical therapist is a little bit different, and we see that happening a lot more nowadays. But your focus should be on the mechanical imbalances that contributed to the injury in the first place, and then implement a strategy directed towards the holistic nature of the body's movement, including posture, full body mobility, motor coordination patterns in certain complexes like the shoulders and the hips and the knees and the ankle, knee, hip, and all that kind of stuff, so that we're making sure that the body is balanced, because those imbalances were generally what caused the body to have an injury in the first place. And so then a chiropractor, they're going to go and they're paid by insurance primarily, for these, short-based time periods to adjust your skeletal system. And so while this is important, you should actually focus on the neuromuscular coordination that controls the skeletal system. Because if you adjust the skeleton but don't adjust the the contractile system, the muscular system that controls that skeleton and its positioning, then you're not going to get very far. So a personal trainer will, again, have you work with the equipment in the gym, while your focus really should be on activities that are location independent. What happens if you can't make it to the gym? What if you don't feel like working with what if you feel like going to the gym and dealing with the parking lot and the locker room and, a whole bunch of people there at 5:00 on a Monday, who are taking up all the equipment and stuff like that? What if you only have what if that workout, could take you a half an hour, but it's going to take you an hour and a half because when you go to the gym, because of all those factors that we just talked about. So you should be focusing on activities that are location independent. Now, of course, if you like the gym and you want to go to the gym, then that's fine. But those activities really should be taught as well, so that you can, learn how to apply those when you can't make it to the gym for those reasons. A massage therapist performs manual therapy reactively when needed. And so, you should be using applied therapies and, people to apply those therapies, professionals and specialists, to do that proactively instead of reactively, progressively and developmentally, in order to yield, the needed physical results for you to optimize the way that you move, rather than just reactively for something that kind of feels good in the moment. So again, returning to personal trainers, they're going to try to give you the hardest workout, or at least it's common for that to be the case. And so what actually works is to address the subject of your physicality from an individually specific and fully comprehensive project management approach that's going to include movement training, but also focuses on precision of nutrition and optimization of other non-training activities, other physical activities that you might engage in, and to address those and how you're going about those. So that's it, folks. I hope this helped you out a lot. I hope we gave gave you some direction. In the next video, we're going to go over the main developmental concepts to get you results and start employing something that's a little bit closer to what we talked about here today. So thanks a lot, folks. I'll see you soon.